Davy Jones.
I know these guys now, they know where it is. These musicians have been coming here to get fed. I don't pay enough, you know what I mean? So, hey, listen, I've got a bunch of these, haven't I? I've been going this morning since about 5:30. I got up and then I went over to the radio station, KPOL, I think, and it's been go ever since. I got back into my hotel room at 5:15, went out and changed my socks and underpants. I didn't realize I was standing in the shower at the time, so you know, whoa. But I laid it down here and I woke up outside after the policeman had chased me around the block 3 times. I hadn't realized that we were illegally parked, and he said, I said to him, the reason I was trying to escape from him, because he said, what's your excuse for evading arrest? I said, because my wife ran up with a policeman about 2 years ago, and I thought that was him trying to get my back. So, my wife, please. Yeah, this is great, isn't it? Yes, okay. Hey, listen, I don't mind you taking pictures. I don't mind you taking videos and stuff like that. But, you know, the reason that I do this is because, you know, I'm a professional entertainer. I'm professional. Yeah, so, you know, and this is my livelihood, my living, so you're quite welcome to archive it and do whatever you want, but don't go selling it to people and stuff like that. Take the movies, take the pictures, but don't go running ads in monkey magazines and things like that and sell me, because that's what I do. I'm trying to sell me. Two wives and 4 kids, you know. Hey, it's a tough road. I know. Anyway, I got some of my friends here. I should introduce them. You know John Page over there, and there's San Gennaro up here, and Mr. Vera over there. We got Tim in the background there, and Big Dave over here. And we thought that. I really didn't realize these guys would come down. They're so brotherly and sisterly towards me. Avita's been with me for the last couple of days here in New York. We've had a great time. You know, we've been working hard and going around and meeting people and talking to people, but, you know, that's what it's all about. You know me, I'm stuck for words half the time. So, but all I can say is that, you know, it's an amazing journey. It's getting even better and better. I don't know what's happened over this last couple of weeks or this last month, 6 weeks. All of a sudden, things seem to be sitting in the right place, and I seem to be doing the right things for myself. And I don't think it's important that as you go through life, even though we've had the success of the Monkees and, you know, the Broadway, as Paul mentioned. And thanks again, I'm sorry, Paul, today I kept on occasions talking about the learning annex. I know it's a different thing altogether. It's a seminar, I realize that. And I apologize for that, but we're here, and that's all that matters, okay? You've got to take the coat off, because this is Davy Jones. I've got to turn the mobile off. And I made a whole bunch of notes today, as I was sort of like going from gig to gig, or from interview to interview, and you know, they're in that pocket there, and so I've written some things down just to explain a bit of how I feel from time to time, but it's very difficult because, you know, I'm an improvisationalist, and I think that was the beauty of the Monkees. When we all got together, we improvised. It got a bit restricting because all of a sudden, as you all know, Mickey wanted to direct and Mike wanted to be, you know, in charge, and Peter E, you know, sort of like was Harry Krishna, Gordon Betts and Brown Rice, and they wouldn't let me drive the monkey mobile, so I wouldn't speak to any of them. That was the, you know, all that kind of stuff. But, you know, after all these years and after thinking about the whole tell you, I've got to reverse my ideas about Mickey Dolenz, Mike Nesbitt, and Peter Tork. They're my brothers, and I have to protect them in every way I can. And that means from my own mouth, from my own feelings about them. They are loving, caring people. I'm always out there in my opinions, and it's not always been the right thing, but I can't help it. If I can say one thing during the course of my day, it's going to affect something or change somebody's life, or in some small way give me something from what I say, and that's the most important thing about it. To be here is really interesting in this church, because, as a young boy, when I was 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, not that I was always so that I understood what happened in churches, but our family was based around the church. That's all we had in Manchester, England. We lived in this little terraced street with 2 up, 2 down. There was 4 of us in one bedroom, my 3 sisters and me, we all went to bed at different times. So the first one went to bed, went to sleep, my father took him out, stood him up against the wall, put the next one in the bed, took him out, come in. No, not really, but it was a very tricky little beginning that we all had. So the only salvation we had was the church. I didn't really understand it, and I don't really understand it now. All I know is that we're all here in this building, so whatever we make of this evening and whatever we get from it is something that we can all create together, with questions, with music, with my memories and thoughts and things like that. And if anybody's got anything to say, if they want to come up and say it, regardless of whether it's to me or just about themselves, I've always said no matter what, there's always someone there to listen to you. And this is a perfect opportunity if you've got something that you need to sort out. There's a lot of us here. We're all friends. That's why we're here. And that's why I travel and do the things I do. I get people coming to you all the time saying, you should be here, you should be doing that, you should be making $1 million doing all this kind of stuff. But I'd rather be working than listening to other people's ideas about how they're going to help me, on what I should be doing, on what I should have done. I believe if you don't have any regrets, then you're an idiot, obviously. But my sisters ran the youth club, and where the heck have you been? 6:30 we're supposed to start, all right? I've talked myself down to my knees. I've only been here 10 minutes. But, my sisters ran the youth club. They also ran the Sunday school. A couple of them not ran it, there's other girls doing the Sunday school class and things like that. It was a place for me to go, keep me out of trouble. We used to go to church twice on a Sunday. I don't know why Sundays, that's the thing that's always baffled me. Because every day is a day to pray and dream, and that's what it's all about for me. And my sisters ran the Sunday school as part of the Sunday school staff. And I went to morning church or evening church and definitely afternoon Sunday school. And I was there to meet people. And my sisters both met their husbands at the Saturday night dance, which happened every 2 weeks. I loved it. Because I used to sneak in there on Sunday morning before going to church and put my hand down in the old ice cream tub that was still melted from the night before, And I used to go with ice cream on my face to Sunday morning church or whatever it was. And my ambition in life was to be able to, when I got older, I was 14, and if I could reach the table, to join the billiard club, It never happened because when I was 14, my mother passed away, which it disturbed me so much, and to this day it still does. It's something that you never get over when you lose a loved one. And it affected me very deeply because I was always outgoing, really shorter than most. I was always pushing my way to the front, if there was anything going on, I wanted to be part of it, Having that sort of small stature that I had, I had to push my way to the front. I was always captain of the cricket team, the football team. I was, in the boxing team, Manchester boys and things like that. And when they were competing, because I went to a very normal little school that didn't have all the fancy schmancy stuff, when we did the baton passing, it was a carrot or something like that, We didn't have the proper stuff. And I was the only kid from the school that used to go compete against the grammar school or the technical school or the hobnobs down the road. I didn't win, but I went because I thought someone's going to go represent. And I was the captain of this team, so I thought, yeah. And occasionally I came close, was second a few times. Never got that winning, 1 mile or a half mile, whatever it was, because I wasn't trained to do any of this. I'm training myself through my course in life, the things that I do. I'm learning more and more. We all are, all of us are. These guys have worked with loads of people, and they've worked all over the world. But when we come together, we don't anymore, as we did in days, even a year and a half, 2 years ago. We don't always congregate down in the bar anymore. We all congregate in a room and we sit around. And yes, we have a lot of beer and we have a little talk. We sit around playing Beatles songs and we talk about stuff and talk about our families and how we should have done this and how we can keep them together, those guys that have families and stuff. church, it's out there in Williamsport, and if you're there, go and see. I mean, they sing and they have a great time, and I go there too. It's a predominantly black church, okay? But it's got the feeling, and it's got the love that we want, and the being a vocalist and wanting to sing. I want to be there, to get up there with the girls and sing. In fact, when we did Hershey Park a couple of months ago, there was three of the girls, I hate the pros, thank you. There was three of the girls came from the church, and we sang the song, If All Else Fails, and it was dynamite. And then, we sang, and one of the girls sang the song, Satan, you're going to take your kingdom down. And all the people went, what the heck is this? Satan, we're going to tear your kingdom down. You've been building your story all this time. And the girls were wailing, and I'm standing up there, and I'm getting goosebumps, But it was great, and that's the thing, the shock thing. The TV shows that I've done today, it's been quite amazing, because having done Monkees, I've got to keep jumping about, because that's what I do. And sometimes I even remember where I came from these days, so that's really wonderful. So, I mean, having these people at Fox News that I did today, they had me on the streets even days we believe in, hey, I'm a monkey, That's fine, because they got a kick out of it. And I was working towards one thing, and that was getting that out, www.davyjones.net, And flirting with a girl that's in nice legs. Last time I saw legs like that, they're underneath the piano, All the older jokes that I tell, but they work, because they learn. They ain't been to the shows like we all have. They don't know anything about me, really. They just know the Monkees, It's the same old, same old. We just came back from Canada, and I gotta tell you, we were up there for 12 shows. We did two shows a night, Tuesday through Sunday. Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Those guys are just getting home normally at that time, but not really. And every show is supposed to do an hour, and I get out there. I'm doing an hour and 40 minutes, right? I'm really making the casino people mad, because they want them out there in the casino pulling new things and spending their money. And I said, and now don't forget, don't spend more than you can afford. See you later. All that kind of stuff. But it doesn't hurt. It's how you say it. It's what you say, not what you say, it's how you say it to people, And so anyway, these shows, and these guys will tell you, I mean, we were on a minimum of an hour and 30 minutes for each show. So the people who were coming back in, they just got back in the line. We went upstairs, took a shower. There's another thing. I wrote a note this morning, trying to think of things to say, like I was stuck to words, And so I started to write some stuff down, and I wrote, because I went in the bathroom this morning, and I took the cards. I tend to keep cards and a pen with me now. Because, as I say, I'm starting to remember things, but I saw this thing that was woolite. I thought, what the hell's that woolite doing in my bathroom? It must be mine. And I know why. But I'm solving it, as I go along. You see, when I do a 2-show day, I get up in the morning, I take my shower, I put my little underpants on, and my little socks, and then I go through my day, and then about 5 in the afternoon, I go to nap, because I'm old, and I need to nap. So here I go, I come out. So I get up in the shower, and I go, and I take those little underpants and my socks, and I put them in the underpants, the soft little thing, And then I get another pair I go, and they go to socks, and then I go down for a show. I do the show, I come back, I take a shower. I do 4 pair of underpants and 4 pair of socks a day on a 2-show day, all right? That's why I have the woolite. I'm in the sink going like this, did Elvis do this? Well, he doesn't want anyone to sing with his underpants either, you know what I'm saying? Unless it's voluntary, of course. Anyway, so I got a whole bunch of notes and stuff down there, but I can't have these guys stand here for too long. But amazing thing happened. My jacket, you got the jacket pocket? Oh, please get that out there. Okay, I go to the ring and say KPOL, right? These guys are good. They're hot. And I was on Tuesday night, Wednesday night, I went to the China Club, and I just want to get this one thing out. You can go in my pocket, Sabine. This is an album, right? Thank you so much. She's so good. She's so nice. I went into the radio station, and there I was with, these 2 guys right on the radio, my mind stopped. Scott and Todd, right? And they're hot, they're a big radio station. And I got an introduced them on Wednesday night, and Meaver and I went off to the theatre. We went to see This Like Love. It was fantastic. Fantastic. And I remember years ago, Jonathan Price was leaving, and this was a number of years ago, and I got a phone call. They were asking me if I wanted to take over Jonathan Price's part. And then all of a sudden, Mackenzie, whatever his name was, the guy that ran it, he got cold feet, and he reckoned there had to be a Chinese guy in the part, you know what I mean? But this is theatre. You dress up, you change your image, that's what it's all about. So it got all this sort of like, it's got this sort of like idea that, you know, oh no, we have to be real, it has to be this, you know, all of a sudden it wasn't theatre. This is what it's all about, comedy, theatre. It's about entertainment. It's not real. This is not real. You know, if you come hang out with my house and see what I do in the mornings, I'm, you know, bending over the doors when you're up riding and doing the windows and doing all the stuff that guys do. And that's what kept me sane. But the thing that also kept me sane is that I walked in there and it's a little bit of a thinking, walking down the hall, and I looked at her, she looked at me, and all of a sudden, she said, Davy Jones. She said, I've always loved you. I said, well, how are you? She said, my name is Jill Sobu, Jill Sobo, Jill Sobu, Bo, Bill, whatever there is. I changed my last name when I was her. But anyway, and she wrote on a new CD, I love you, Davy, love Jill. Well, I got the record, her old last, I don't know if you know this girl, but you know, and she gave me this, and we sat and I talked, I played some of my tunes on her lovely little guitar, I Love You Forever, you know, Ship Around, and a couple of other things. She said, they're great, we ought to record together. And I thought, well, what a compliment, because most people know me as a monkey, they know me maybe from the theatre, they don't know me as a songwriter. So I actually invited Tim and John down there, not thinking that Dave and Sandy and Aviva would be here with me, so that we could sing some of the new songs that have been in there recording, stuff that I've done on Volume 4 and things like that. But I'd like to sing this song for you later on, the Jill song. I'm not sure what my voice is going to be like tonight, but I'm sure I can fake it. I've been doing it for 40 years. So but I like that song, and also, you know, talking about the family and having 4 daughters, all girls. They all have different kinds of music, but you know, I tell this story now in my act because it's true. When my sisters were growing up and finally to the age where they were all leaving home and getting married, it was basically just me, my dad, and my mom, you know, in the 1960s. So they weren't all married at the time. And my dad was into reading Western books, and also he was into Hawaiian music. Someone asked me Hawaiian music and Western books. But my mom was into what they were doing at the time, which was swing. And that's sort of like how I remember my mom, you know. I don't know where we got the record player from. I don't know where she got the records, but they were those 78s and they were all cracky ones. And so I dug this out, and this is a song. Can you play it, Dave? Okay. That's the guys behind us. Now I know a girl who was always late. Every time we had dates, but I love her. Yes, I love her. I'm we get thrown into this pile of oldies, you know. And I love Gary Puckett, and I love Peter Newman, and I love the Grassroots, and I love, you know, Flo and Eddie. But you know, we've got to go forward, you know. And it's very difficult not to be able to do that when I keep being reminded of the Monkees stuff, which is everybody loves it, and I love to sing it. I was singing on the bloody street today, singing that Monkee tune, you know what I'm saying? Singing, hey, hey, I'm a monkey, you know, at 8 o'clock this morning on the street. So, you know, that's what they wanted. And sometimes to get what you want, you've got to give people what they want, okay? And so you've got to compromise. That's what life is, unfortunately, a lot of. But you know, sharing and caring and giving is the most important thing than just sitting back and receiving. Because some of us can't handle the receiving, you know. I'm very difficult with that kind of stuff, getting gifts, getting presents, getting compliments and all that kind of stuff. I've got to think that the future is going to hold greater rewards for me. And the reason I travel and do things is because I think, you know, I've been given this gift of the gap sometimes. I don't always say the right thing at the right time, as I told you before, but I'm looking for those words, searching for stunning answers for myself. And maybe if I find them, I can pass them on whether it's my children or otherwise. You know, Jessica's now 18 years old, you know. You know, when you have an 18-year-old daughter, I'm sure some of you don't, I'm not quite sure, but I can't really see that for anymore. I mean, classes and everything these days. But, you know, when you've got teenagers, you all of a sudden become bilingual, you know, and it's like unbelievable. You don't understand half the things they're saying. But some of the things they're saying are so important, you know. And you know, even now today in our schools and things, you see the things that are happening. We would never think of doing that down our streets. You know, the worst thing that could have happened to me is that my being a congregationalist, Church of England, I was warned that, you know, a week on Wednesday, if I wasn't going to be a good boy, that the nuns would take me away when they came to the newspapers. Oh my God, don't let the nuns take me away, please. Because I could down the street, flowing in roads, you know. And I didn't know Catholic Church, Catholicism, or anything like that. But it's all one world, it's all one religion. I mean, it's ridiculous to think that it isn't. And you know, if you like religions and politics, you know, it's all out there selling your idea and giving your ideas to different people, and whoever follows the most. I mean, the Bible was written by a man, you know, and we can believe as much as we want. You read it, there's a lot of things to understand in it that will help you. But not all of it relates these days, you know. So you've got to find your choices through those words. And this is why I travel and the music too. I mean, I like to sing a couple of my own tunes. I've got some things that I wanted to, out of my jacket, and get my little nose things, you know, because I'll battle on all night, mate. And I'm told we've got to be out of here by at least 1:30 this morning, so, you know. I've been working with John Black for a number of years, and the songs that we've been putting down, mostly songs that come from my heart, from my experiences in life. There's one little song that I kind of like, you know, what about the Every Morning I Wake, that one, you know. I kind of like that. Is that on the fourth album that we did, or is it just for the record? Thanks, Rita. Cool. Thank you. Oh, my glasses too, right? never done that. I only go and look at a wall and watch 2 shows for all day, like that. What else are we doing? What are we doing in 2000? Okay, we've got a book on tape, that's going to come. We've got short stories that we're writing, some nice little short. Some of my stories, I was walking on the street with a beaver a couple of days ago, and for an hour I told one of my stories. She said, "Oh my God, what happens next?" I went, "Please tell me." I said, "To be continued." She said, "Oh!" It was things I had going. I really did. I do little bits and pieces, you know what I'm saying, as I went along. I made it up, I didn't know what to do. Okay, I bought an old church in Beavertown, Pennsylvania. It's about probably at least 5 or 6 pillars. It's not a wooden church. I'm going to put it down. I couldn't see it being pulled down. No Lutheran church. I didn't pay a lot of money for it. Anybody's bank account wouldn't give a lot of money. I just didn't want to see it go away. I got big, thick beams. I thought, what am I going to do with this? Well, it's going to be Davy Jones' Rock and Roll Museum and Memorabilia Museum. Davy Jones, created this little, let there be one place on earth where no money changes hands, and people just go there for the fun of it. Obviously there are other ideas, I thought maybe a youth club, maybe, I don't know, put up a boxing ring, a gym. That's another thought I had. On the radio the other day, I just put out on the radio because I was watching the girls fight. I love to see girls fight. I have 3 sisters, 4 daughters, 2 wives. That's not name quite clean. It's great. So I thought, what the heck? I just threw it out casually about that. I said, yeah, I can manage a couple of female fighters, but I want a lefty. Because I was figuring my mom and Ali's daughter is a sucker for a left when she comes to shoulder. Well, I get this call from this young girl. She's 15 and a half years old. She's about as big as me. She's 15 and a half. She happens to be the number 6 rated karate girl in the whole of the world. As a 12-year-old, she was rated number 3 as a 12-year-old, fighting all kinds of boys and all kinds of stuff. So the next year and a half, I hope to nurture her career. I've written letters to her, told her her safety is the most important thing to me. But she's willing to do it. I've talked to her fathers. So why not branch out into that stuff? At least I can, if I feel she ain't there, she's not going to go off and get hurt somewhere else. Because having been the father of girls, I worry, well, I pray actually. So, that's another thing, it's ridiculous. I know, but I want to try it. Because Cindy opened it with the rest of us, now she is doing stuff. Maybe finally can access the money and the funds. I'll give us a channel somewhere else to help other people. But I can't do it without your help. Coming here and hearing me. You go and tell somebody else, oh, Dave, we sang some music to what people don't know. You missed this or you missed that or you don't miss nothing. Or you have to go tell. I got a band in England and they're called Murmurs of Burma. And it's the name of a teacher that he said my ex-wife Anita's nephew. And I went to listen to them. I went, these guys are good. I would like to have them on tour with me, but I don't play the kind of venues. And they've got musicians here. John Blair the other day got up in a club in Canada, and then Dave gets up, and he's getting up there, he's playing, Sandy's playing acoustic, and they got up for a half an hour, 45 minutes, and they sang stuff. I want to hear some of that stuff, so like Beatles songs and all kinds of stuff. And I go, these guys are talented, but what people want, those people that are buying and selling, they want a name, they want, the only thing missing that I thought from this side was a celebrity up there making a fool of himself, but you need something there, and that's what show business is all about. So, I'm going to hopefully have John sing the second a cappella, and it just knocked me out. I just said,
All right, this is an Irish melody with some different words that I put together recently. As I was going down the road to nowhere else in mind, tramping hard through the snow, vision in my mind, walking over bright valley fields by the frozen river shine, walking wide, tired away, biding time and tide. We pay our dues, we brag of our minds, but we never pay the price. The truth is so incredible, you want to be born twice. The air could cut and fill the whirlwinds of my thoughts inside. Sometimes it takes a cheering voice to feel the heat at night. We pay our dues, we crack on our but we never pay the price. The truth is so incredible, you want to be born twice. The truth is so incredible, you want to be born twice.
Yeah, right. My kids were telling me that the singers out there, it was actual Rose who stole the Davy Jones dance. Well, there's a guy out there that's on the market now. He's claiming fame as well. This Robbie Williams guy out there. He's out there doing the Davy Jones too, you see. So my little Lebanon, she wrote him a letter. Don't take my dance. My dad in the Bee Gees in the early 60s said, Dad, I want you to don't do this, don't do that, And my dad wrote, you pretty well not run into our day, but show me the way it goes right. It's kind of interesting the way family and friends sort of look after you and really get touched by it. Because the Monkees has not only touched my life and your lives, I hope, it's also touched my families, and they like to live, My daughters, being Davy Jones' daughters, and my ex-wives, both, and we just called me before I went on, and she said, as Paul was announcing me, and he said, top 10, I went, top 5, and she said, nice one, Dave. I said, I can't go on, I said, okay, I'll talk to you later. And boom, that was it. We still talk, there's still some friendship there, some love and understanding, and some support, which is most important. Once you touch someone's life, it's always there. You can always look to that good time. I have a theory. When I have a problem, I have a lot of problems over the last few years, they seem to all of a sudden fade away. Because I think it must be me that's making them go away. Because I want them to go away. And I'm finding more love inside me, even more love for myself. And realizing that I have a lot more than I thought I had. And I have a lot more to offer than I thought I had. And I'm going to continue to offer it until they will have to give me a shot to put me in. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to go easy. Because I don't know where going is, because I ain't going there, you know what I mean? I'll probably look at, I'll look up with anyone that's ever. Back to that idea of taking movies. I love these things because, you can look at them and you can say, yes, and I can imagine nobody taking pictures of them and all that kind of stuff, It's very interesting for people, it was great. The only thing I have a problem with is that, for instance, Gary Stoll, I paid Gary Stoll to go to England and film the Monkees, which I'm telling you, I've just seen the videos. It's outrageous, okay? This was a great band. Mickey Dolenz, we can talk about this with Davy Jones. We played in England, I don't think you saw it. But it was great, it was that second unbelievable. We were playing, we were banging away. We were raw, the Sammy said. But it was very punk. And it was very good. And then the guys came out, after the 45 minutes of us up there doing the songs. And it worked even better. It was such a revelation. It was such an inward, sort of success for me. And then obviously in True Part, we came back to America, and I you know, I joke about it, I tell my jokes on stage, and I say, I'm lying in bed, and I call my boyfriend at home, and I say, I'm lying here alone, hugging the pillow, I wish I could be with you to hold you and hug you and kiss you like I do. And she says, who is this? It gets to be that way, you know. It's sort of interesting because you lose touch. And you said you sort of in a way want to lose touch because you get big eyes from girls and you're looking at people and they're back home, you don't know what they're doing, and all of a sudden the insecurities will come into your life. But you don't have to do that. You don't have to be that person. You can go and enjoy all those things without being sort of carrying a flag at the front of the parade. It's good to be a foot soldier too, and I like that belief. You know, I sometimes go, wow, I'm here in the supermarket, nobody's recognizing me. You know, I'm very
feel the same about you. We get to talk and discuss, and we have that one-on-one. And a lot of you know
that live around me know that I'm approachable. I'm not a little moody because most of the guys aren't. You know what I mean? I'm still looking to grow another 4 or 5 inches. You know what I mean? And maybe not. That's just a thing. But I am approachable, and to lose this kind of feeling, this kind of time with 1, 2, or 10 people, to me, it's nothing. It's 100 people or 100,000 people. To me, it's sharing of ideas and talents, and there's got to be a listener, there's got to be a talker. Right now, that's me. I mean, we should maybe do another one, right, too, so I'll just get into this a little bit more, because, another thing I'm going to do, I'm going to do some of these ESPN commercials, those funny commercials. I'll be filming those, I believe, in April, or maybe hopefully at the end of March, I'm in Connecticut. We're going to be doing it for, Sacred Corporation, it's March and Times, it'll be about 29th in Connecticut, it's going to be a special thing. We hope to put a book signing in front of that too, and do something there. And then I did a voiceover for this Peter Sellers documentary, and people ask me about that. The Marx Brothers were like, Monkees were like the Marx Brothers and prior to the Beatles and all that kind of stuff. But for me, it was the Crazy Gang, which was a guy called Michael Bentine, Spike Miller, Harry Seeger, and obviously Peter Sellers. Peter Sellers' career was amazing. He did all kinds of wonderful things, and then he came to Hollywood, and he tried to use improvisation, and tried to be that free-form character that he was with the Crazy Gang, which was a radio program, so all my family used to sit around listening to all the, week after week, beyond. And this is where a lot of my humor came from. It was a spontaneous, off-the-cuff, sort of like similar, sort of to, similar to a lot of people that are out there, but it's no longer vogue, you've got to either be bad-mouthing or talking down or swearing or curse words and the rest of it. Humor has changed. I love to go on the stage with these guys and they know I tell them jokes, and they're stupid jokes a lot of the time. But this joke, people like jokes, it makes them relax. I try to do it all the time. I want to see you on my tune right now. What have you got on the list there, Sonny? Oh, yeah. We ready for each other? What's that one? It's not too late. Okay, what about, what about it's not too late? I like that one. Every morning I wake, think of you. But the worst thing is that when at night in the morning I was there brushing my teeth, I bent over and I looked down and there they are. Oh my God. They're not that bad. But you know, it's quite amazing, right? That's why I think really, that's why I know God wants to be a man, you know, because otherwise he would put him on the back, you know. He
So
can
more
carry him
present.
around, you know. But anyway, so that's another story. It doesn't matter, this is the Lord's house, okay? The Lord understands. He's with me all the time, all right? So I have no problem with that. Anyway, I just want to share that thing with you, all those little things. Oh yeah, oh I can't go there either. You know, well, no, I should start on all those things I hate. You know, this guy's running around, you know, he's doing 75 concerts. I worked it out, he's like $200,000, you know, and you know what he's doing, I don't know, he's doing that, this, that, the other. He's always making money, but at the end of the day, it's not to be dollars and cents, you know, so I mean, I'm able to elaborate. You know, I was talking to DJ this morning, I know Monkees. Well, Scott, yeah, I met him 30 odd years ago when the Monkees did their first promotion, and we found the first promotion on a train going from San Diego to Los Angeles, and they brought 200 people at the time, or 100 people into the carriage, Mickey, Mike, Peter, and myself played the last train to San Diego, the last train to Clarksville. It was absolutely unbelievable, you know, and it was reminding me about Roger Morgan going, and now it's Roger Morgan on the road with Monkees. I have all those tapes, I have all those pictures, they're all going to be in the museum in Beavertown, Pennsylvania. We're going to have sound clips where you can sit and listen to things and interviews and stuff that they've done over the years. Okay, I was in New York City, obviously, the last couple of days, and all of a sudden, I see this motorized skateboard going by. We did that, Monkees did that all those years ago. I can't imagine why they didn't take up until now, they have. What else have we got here? It's a phone number, we don't need to talk about that. Okay, the shows are great in Canada. Here's another one, I really love this. I told you about the boxing, right? And you know about my entertaining, and all the rest of the stuff. Well, here's another great one. I got a call from a guy in Minneapolis, Minnesota, someplace like that. And Judy Cronin, the greatest woman jockey of all time, retired here in Annapolis, had a baby. Now she's back, she's riding again. She's not riding professionally, she's really working to ride now. So we put together a thing, it's sort of like the Bobby Riggs Billie Jean thing, right? It's sort of like Battle of the Sexes. And I'm going to do some racing in different tracks around the country with her. You know, maybe we'll do books, maybe we'll do some concerts too. So I've not given up my saddle for my irons yet. Eventually I will get out there, as you know. Some of you know I'm a great lover of horses. And one day my goal, my ambition in life, one of them anyway, is to train racehorses. And hopefully I've got a couple of horses now in Pennsylvania. And I hope to be setting up a little operation where we can go into it a little deeper, a little faster than I had imagined over the next couple of years. And I'm going to have some good people working with me who will find that out in the next couple of years. And hopefully we'll be able to go take on the big boys. You know, right now we're dealing with moderate animals. But you know, the secret to training racehorses is to keep yourself in the best company and your horses in the worst company. So, you know, when you're in the best company, you get people with good horses. So maybe with my celebrity status, some will take a chance and we'll get some good stuff. That's another track I'm going to go to. Another path I would like to lead to. It doesn't have to be gambling. It's not sacrilegious or anything like that. You don't have to go to the track. They're beautiful animals. They treat you so well. A lot of them treat you better than human beings, you know, especially the lower in Beavertown, Pennsylvania. The track we went up really well from the museum. Another idea I had to say to the guy named Peter. I thought I'd get Henry Dills or Michael Bush, both familiar with their pictures, and maybe get them to travel on the road, a couple of updates here and there, you know, with the band and the guys, and we would show pictures, show slides right now. Nice pictures, slides right now, and we could show some pictures from the 60s that we saw, pictures of Mickey that I was seeing, Mike, and Peter, and myself, and movies of me as a 16-year-old when I was on Broadway, and I used to go up to Catskills, and you know, I've got loads and loads of movies and films that you might be interested. But that will all come out in the Rock and Roll Museum in Beavertown, Pennsylvania as well, so you'll all get a chance to see all that. I want you to see this stuff, because this is what's made me the person I am today. You know, you are today because of the way you were yesterday, you will be tomorrow because of the way you are today. And it happens to me all the time. I'm renewed, revived, and released, you know, and accept the be better setting and more ideal situation. I think right now I'm going to sing my most favourite song that I wrote, and you've heard it a million times. I'm going to sing I Love You Forever right now, because I think that would be a good opportunity for me to praise this place and also praise each one of you for being here tonight. It's a song I wrote a number of years ago, and I think one day somebody will get wind of it and they'll do it. I'm hoping you will consider some of this song. It's called I Love You Forever. I love you this year, I love you next year, and forever. I'll always need you, I'll never leave you, I love you forever. And if you ever change your mind, please think again and be the reason for your first love. You are my last love, you're mine forever. I love this feeling, my heart is beating, I'm waiting. No one has ever been so deep inside me. And when the sun shines on our love, that's when I thank the Lord for your first love. You are my last love, you're my beginning. And then we would have those Monkees, a couple of things, but it's Logan plays the accordion, he plays the banjo, piano, sings, dances. I love that song. I once had a girl, or should I say, she once had me. She showed me my room, isn't it good? No, it's good. She asked me to stay, she told me to sit and cry. So I was around and noticed there wasn't a chair. I sat on the road, biding my time, to take her wine. We talked until 2, and then she said, it's time for bed. Told me she would take the morning and started to laugh. Oh, I told her I didn't and crawled off to sleep in the back. And when I awoke, I was alone, this girl had gone. So I had to find, isn't it good? No kitchen food. We got nothing rehearsed because we just have a bit of fun. Now, maybe if anyone wants to ask any questions, first of all, otherwise, if you want to get up to that microphone, you can, not his arm, because nobody did it. If you want to shout, that's okay. There used to be a shout out. Hello. Okay. It's one of those.
It's a regular Steve flute, but it's a Steve flute that's actually made for sure arms.
Okay, just put your hand back a minute, and now it's the no sequence. Okay, anybody else?
I saw you were very adventure last year.
Oh, really? Is that on the rides? Well, I kind of know something about the rides, and that's how. Because you look at your That's why I don't understand that, you know, most of the rides, they don't do it, they don't even get on, you know what I'm saying? I beg your pardon?
My question is, I have some photographs. Somebody sign.
I certainly will. I have to talk to you and sign and whatever, you know, shut up the book on.
And what's the record that you were doing? Are you still doing that?
Pardon?
Are you still into karate?
Right.
Karate.
Karate?
Karate. I read that one time.
Me? Karate? Girls are doing more, you know. I'm having another fight about it, you know what I mean? You know, karate is interesting, yeah. Now, it would be good, you know, it's just for exercise. So like see those guys in the park and all that kind of stuff. In the park, but you know, I my karate, judo, and all that stuff. I will sign this stuff for a while, yeah.
First of all, I want to thank you for your interview. It's terrible. And secondly, I want to know what your interview.
Well, it's one of those sort of like, things that we're trying to, work out. We're in an in-house sort of an idea, like we are tonight. There's a particular plan to here. As I say, the guys came down here, and they could be all their families. They came down here to be with me and help me sort of, talk to you and sing some tunes. I can sit here and do stuff, but it's not the same. It's not the same as you do it with people. The website is being sort of organized. We get ideas, we do stuff with it. We've got so much stuff we do. All the records we do are all done out of our group. All the t-shirts and all the things that we've done. And that's why we need a master plan, someone to help us organize this. And this is where my new friends can be helping us do this, to collect, to put everything into one little package. So not the right hand is not what the left hand is doing. We've got, as I said, we've got magazines, we've got fan clubs and everything else like that. And one of the more, sort of prominent magazines that are out there today is a magazine run by a lady that's been supported with Monkees for many years. I mean, that's one of the not in my mind, because I don't read next, but there are problems there. I've read the magazine on the back page. It's an ad for a book, an unauthorized monkey book. Now I'm a monkey book out right now, or a book on Davy Jones. I'd rather read my book than that guy's book, you know what I'm saying? If you've got two choices, then wait a minute. Where is this loyalty here, you know what I mean? Ed Weinstein's got a book, so, it's not that I want to sell it, because I don't know why I do money by making the things that I do. But, and you don't know where it comes from or anything like that. So there's just a little bit of, we need to coordinate. Everybody needs to be really basically put on notice, take pictures by all means, and enjoy what we do, but don't go off and do things on your own. For instance, they only authorize people to print pictures of Mike Bush and Henry Gillis and Gary Strode. They have the authorization for me to do whatever they want to their supply company. That's Maggie has a lot of the other there for years, but I really can't go out now going out in January when I'm planning on my own or something else, because it's confusing to everybody. So it has to be under one umbrella. The website is something new to us. And we're trying to add to what suggestions do you have we should do with the website? Like, well, I'm always suddenly supplying stuff. My daughter sends me stuff, so things I wish I had done, like be nice to my pets or to my animals. I go through stuff all the time, jokes and stuff that I get. And I send it to National. I said, will you put that on the station? Will you put that on Susan Gerald? Susan Gerald had such a Nathan on my career over the last years. Help me put the book together, help me put the t-shirts together, help me coordinate all kinds of things. And when there's other people over here, one there, doing it all, it gets confusing. So we've got to centralize it. Not that we want to push those people out. Baby devotees, monkey magazines, that. You've got to know what's going on, otherwise we're going in the wrong direction. Everyone's pulling against each other. Paul and Samuel, people, everybody over there, they were doing stuff. They used to get to the year, they have press agent, I went to do stuff. I didn't go to stuff on my own, I didn't do stuff with this guy, I didn't go in my own living room, many people, blah. Let's share it, to care, to have people show an interest and support you. That's much more. It's better than how to do it all on your own. So we do need to have a collaboration there, and we do need ideas. So if you've got ideas, write it down to Davy, and let us know what's going on, so that we can indeed use your ideas, and supply the other people that are involved in my life and our lives. It's all one big circle, and help. And maybe these other things, and then people that don't know clock into it and say, wow, man, you see what they do on the website? Some guy on Google's website is all right now, saying his name, talking and doing that. I don't go on those things. I really can't do that. I'm busy writing songs with the windows all picking up Boston, writing my kids, talking to my sisters, talking to the band, and doing all these things that I do. I ain't got time to sit and chat and some things. I appreciate what you do. It's open windows for the world for a lot of people, and it's a wonderful thing. We can't do it all. So any ideas you do have, just put it down on paper, and then maybe get people loved that he went there with the mothers and fathers, you know, whoever they were. But he was just the drummer in the band. But this one, the mothers and fathers, they sang mothers and fathers too, and you might have got four Brazilians, four Sandy. You know, but you know, maybe the new people that know that we helping me to get to you better in a more sort of dramatic and prestigious way. Not that this isn't. They were there looking for themselves in the day before she got there. You know, Japan, Tokyo, of course, places I go to now. I go there at a great club. It's all very well being going playing the music, see those around this country. But I'm not away for 2 weeks, 3 weeks on the road while everybody else is there. You know, not that I want to go to the campaign Regis show, you know, all that kind of stuff. But I need to be where people can see me because, you know, I'm 54 years old. But actually, it is for me to be out there dancing and singing and showing that musical side of myself. So it's got to be done now within the next 10, 12 years. Well, I can still do it. So Brazil is definitely on our agenda. As sooner the better. Without dying of the beach. she wanted to know about monkeys, but we also, that's all I could do before you all got it. Well, they did it. But you know, it's, you know, they put in the sense, but then you go, but still, you know, I don't negotiate with people. I've been in the business for over 40 years. And you know, so, not to be immodest or unmodest or whatever word it may be, you know, there are people that have faith, like those girls on the view. And there are famous people like me. I'm famous. I'm famous all over the world, wherever I go. Now, you've got to respect that in a sense. So for them to tell me that I have to sing this Beatles song, it doesn't wash my hands. Yet I stand paid with money. Who makes those? For me? For me? The producer will work in my feet. They might see me on the Columbia River singing it. They might see me on the Los Angeles singing it. Numbers and numbers, the year 2000. We all know that you can associate me with Davy Believer, and we're all in for a treat, hopefully, in the near future, because we haven't recorded Davy Believer in a different way. We hope you like that too.
Did they say why they were not?
We don't wait around for wise. They said we could have to sing. I said, no, thank you. Everyone said, one, got a few of my kids. They said, I love you, Dad. Can't wait to be running. Oh, so what's it Davy Believer? Again. Oh, I really do it, please. Go out there and do something else, you know. Let me say something from another show, something that gives me a little bit of credibility in the sense of let me go sing, you know. Irish Records, a couple of years back, put out a CD or a record, and it said on the back of it, I don't know what the record was, but that was on it. It was the black and white cover, if you remember it. And Irish Records, Clive Davis, you know, put it out. And it said on the back of it, and Davy Jones, with little or no singing talent. This was from the record company. Now, if you've got that kind of support behind you, what chance have you got in then pushing the record and putting it into the live house and you were there? The reason he did that or let that go is I don't know why. He's the man in charge. The buck stops here, you know, and it has to stop with me. Let it begin with me. Unless I make those decisions. As I say today, I don't know the time I'm singing, hey, monkey! Said the monkey to me, he owns his backtrack. And I still did it. And I said, I did it for people in Texas. And I still did it. But that wasn't the fun of that. They knew they wanted to do it. They hadn't told me. Maybe I'd done that before. They just told me I was done to. They fit the occasion. People would go to work late in the morning. And they gave me about 45 minutes on that TV program today. At Fox TV, I had Davy Jones squat in the studio. They got me on the side and said, we want to thank you. Because a year ago you were on the show. And it changed our format that we're on. We don't take news seriously anymore. We have more of a program that interviews and talks to people, gives them a chance to express themselves. It's not like this, you know. So that's not they got the Davy Jones squat in Fox Studio. Hey, so I did take the impression of that. And I was able to talk about the unions. And I felt the unions screen acting skills after they don't really do much for actors. They check cashers. That's all they do. They act in the back. And the fact that the Monkees are on from May to September is coming here, and all the other heroes are on, it's not a terribly good thing for the business. Because these producers that made money on the Monkees all those years ago, they still don't give us any money for it. And the record comes in, the record's out, and they still don't give us the money that they do. I'm not worried about me. I'm worried about 40, 50 years ago. My daughters, my grandchildren, those people who have to live with that named Davy Jones, daughter, granddaughter, grandson, whatever the case may be, or if that ever happens, my daughters and my ex-wives, they need to be compensated for the exposure that I opened up to them. And it's not fair that they shouldn't be. And so therefore, I don't know what the question was, but I think I made some kind of Okay, we got one. You know, it's interesting when you used to write when you wrote. I mean, I wrote about 3 or 4 of them all in one afternoon, you know. The lyrics weren't all that, they eventually came. And they worked very well for me that way, when I get going, I get going. But you see, people are afraid. I wrote a great song for Tommy Voice, you know. I mean, there was one song I wrote with Tommy Voice some years ago. And I really liked Tommy Voice. And he was the inventor. He got invented so much, you know. I've been living in the city for 15 years. You could say, Joe. And I've tried hard and it's honest work, but I keep moving on. Raise a little money and $1 helps in harmony. I'll be with the radio keys. A lot of the songs and songs inside me. You don't have to be country road. Sing a country song. You don't need to run some down. Made up lyrics, eye sky, wide eye, and all those kinds of things. And you know, Billy Talbot sends Elton John, they never get together again. He sends him the lyrics, and Elton then plays the song, plays the lyrics that Billy Talbot sends him. You know, they never get together to do it. But the thing about getting together with people and writing stuff and collaborating, I get John my tunes, and he puts different chords and arranges them, and various the transitions, such like that, which make them almost into a different tune, but the same tune with the arranger's expertise and production that comes from Tim as well. And all the people that Viva and Dave and Sandy and we all put into these things. It's my tune, but they collaborate with me. That's the most rewarding thing in life. Sharing. It's a nice thing to be alone. I'm a bit of a loner and a recluse. And things I had, I wrote down the other day, things I wish I had done. And things I wish I had said, you know. And I kind of separate myself a lot. And it's almost a self, you know, it's like almost like a punching myself in a way. It's not punching myself in a beat down where I can say, damn, I don't want to be with you. It's so far away, man. Far away from what? You know, where you are is where you are. But when you get together with somebody, like we're getting together, and you maybe come out with me now, I love to share. And no, I don't worry, I'd be worried about getting together. I don't know what happens to go and write a song, you know. Instead of that, Bert Schneider, who's his girlfriend that had never written a song before, sat down in the karaoke. When you're down in trouble, and you need a helping hand, you got a friend. She set to life. And I invited him back up in the karaoke and threw a few lyrics out. Maybe some of my songs were in there. And I was a little hesitant about that. I didn't want to do that. Now I'm not hesitant anymore. If there's something going on, I want to be up there watching it, get involved. And you know, we haven't written, John and I haven't written tunes together. You know, Dave and I have written tunes together. But we should eventually, because we know each other so well. We used to sit around singing Beatles songs and all things like that. But that's the quality of life, sharing, caring, giving, and you know, being sensitive. And that's okay. Time I love you. Oh, really? Well, we have to talk. forming a new situation in my career and all this stuff. So it's very difficult to